There are stories from history that feel like legends, tales that sound like myths, and mysteries so strange that even after centuries, humanity still cannot explain them. This is one of those stories. A real recorded event. A mystery so unsettling that historians, scientists, paranormal experts, and conspiracy theorists still argue about it today. This is the haunting story of the Green Children of Woolpit, two mysterious children who appeared out of nowhere in medieval England, speaking an unknown language, wearing strange clothes, refusing normal food, and claiming they came from a world with no sunlight, a place forever trapped in twilight. Our story begins in the quiet English countryside during the 12th century, a time when life was simple yet harsh. Fields stretched endlessly under the sky, farmers worked from dawn till dusk, and villages were small, isolated, and deeply religious. People feared the unknown. They believed in angels, demons, and supernatural signs. So when something strange happened, it wasn't easily ignored. It shook their entire world. In the tranquil village of Woolpit, named after deep pits dug to trap wolves, farmers went about their daily work when something unusual caught their attention. Faint cries echoed near one of the pits. They expected perhaps a wounded animal. Standing near the pit found instead would become one of the most mysterious encounters in human history. Crying, lost. But that wasn't what shocked the villagers the most. Their skin was green, not pale, not sickly, but visibly green, as if their bodies belonged to an entirely different kind of being. Their clothes were made from a strange, unknown fabric unlike anything seen before. And when the villagers tried to speak to them, the children responded in a language that didn't exist in any known region. Not English, not Latin, not French. Their words were a stream of unfamiliar sounds, almost musical, almost alien. Panic spread. Fear whispered through the village, but curiosity was stronger. The villagers didn't hurt them. Instead, they brought them to the home of a local nobleman, Sir Richard de Conn, hoping someone wiser might understand who these children were. The villagers tried to feed them, offering bread, meat, fruits, anything to help the terrified pair regain strength. But the children refused everything. They looked at ordinary food as if it were poisonous. Days passed. Their bodies grew weaker. Everyone feared they would starve to death. Until finally, something changed. One day someone brought freshly picked beans, still inside their pods. For the first time, the children's eyes lit up. They rushed toward the beans eagerly, tearing the pods open and eating them raw. It was as if this was the only food they recognized. Slowly, they began to recover, weak and overwhelmed by fear and homesickness, became ill. Some say it was emotional trauma. Some say his body couldn't adapt. Others whisper darker theories. But whatever the cause, the boy didn't survive. His small grave became the first tragic mark of this mystery. His sister, however, continued to live, and something remarkable began to happen. Over time, her green skin slowly faded. Day by day, she began to look more human, more like the people around her. Eventually, almost normal. And then came the moment everyone had been waiting for. She finally learned to speak English. And when she did, she revealed where she came from. The girl claimed she was not from our world. She came from a land called St. Martin's Land, a place underground, a place where the sun never shined, a world trapped in eternal twilight where everything, the sky, the land, even the air, glowed with a strange greenish tone. She said everyone there was like her and her brother. Green, different. She explained that somewhere in their world, there was a bright, mysterious tunnel or opening. One day, she and her brother followed the sound of bells they heard echoing through the darkness. They wandered too far, stepped through the strange opening, and suddenly, they weren't in their world anymore. They were in Woolpit, a different land. Her words chilled a different sky. Medieval villagers didn't have science and they could never go back. They didn't grow up with fantasy movies or alien theories. For them, this was terrifying. Was she talking about hell? About another realm? About creatures God never mentioned? The church was uncomfortable. Scholars were confused. And historians began documenting the case very seriously. Because this wasn't gossip. This wasn't a fairy tale whispered by drunk travelers. This was recorded history, documented by respected writers of the time. Over the centuries, this mysterious case has sparked endless debate. Some believe the children were aliens who accidentally crossed into Earth. Others think they slipped from a parallel universe. There are theories that they belong to an underground civilization, suggesting Earth may hide unknown societies beneath its surface. Many argue it could be scientific, a medical condition that caused their skin to turn green, combined with malnutrition and trauma. But even if science explains the skin, it doesn't explain the language. It doesn't explain their clothing. It doesn't explain their story of another world. It doesn't explain how they simply appeared. And perhaps the most disturbing part, after the girl grew up, she eventually blended into society. And then, history loses track of her. No clear records of her later life. No solid proof of what happened next. So what really happened, as if the world allowed her to stay, were the green children lost, but never wanted her fully understood. Earth? Survivors of an underground world? Victims of a tragic accident? Or proof that our world is stranger than we can ever imagine? This mystery pushes us to ask a bigger question. How much do we truly know about our world? And how much lies hidden beyond human understanding? Even after nearly 900 years, the story refuses to die. Historians still debate it. Scientists still attempt to explain it. Conspiracy theorists believe it proves we are not alone. And somewhere between all the arguments, one simple truth remains. Something extraordinary happened in Woolpit. Something history could not forget. Something that challenges everything we believe about reality. And maybe, just maybe, somewhere in a world where the sun never rises, in a land forever glowing green, children like them are still walking under a twilight sky. Smash that like button and hit subscribe for more epic content. If you're loving this, like the video and subscribe right now. Tap like, hit subscribe and join the squad. Don't just watch. Like, subscribe and stay tuned for more bangers. Show some love. Drop a like. Smash that subscribe button. And let's keep it rolling. Hit like, punch that subscribe button and turn